So a very big war took place between Florida and Georgia, calling in both of their allies. We'll see what happens here. And keep in mind that Mississippi decided to come and help Georgia, so I don't know what's going to happen to them either. I made a prediction in the last video that I thought they'd be okay. They might, although this pretty massive military with a 23 stack is over here. Tennessee also sieging out Mississippi. So what they might try to do here is, the problem is that Georgia's kind of reclaiming an army back at home, but they're probably going to try to separate piece Mississippi real quick, then they'll focus their attacks on Georgia again. Everybody has claims to Georgia. That's why this is kind of interesting, where South Carolina has claims, Tennessee has claims, Florida has claims. So I guess it really depends on who occupies this stuff first. So if this alliance is going to stick to Mississippi, I mean, what they need to do, someone like Tennessee needs to go out and siege this province, because an AI is not going to give up their claim. If they have control over an occupied province that they have a claim on, they will not give it up to maybe the war leader, as they should. Oh, Mississippi's out of it, right? Oh no, they're just I don't know what they're doing. They're probably going after a fort. Yes, they are going after a fort. Which, by the way, from the video 1, DC does not have a bigger fort. I thought they might have. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought they might have had maybe a bigger fort. But no, 3 is the natural fort limit for the beginning of the game. There was a war that broke out over Mexico. I did notice that. By the way, the war for Quebec is still currently going on. Nothing really has happened so far, actually. Maybe they only want this province, or what? I don't know. They're losing a little bit of occupation, but I know that Ontario had to unsiege something to the south. One of this province. How's New York doing? New York does have a claim to Vermont, or a core. I apologize. So that will the former Vermont, I should say. This is all New Hampshire territory. New Hampshire seems to be doing kind of having the biggest effect so far. And we have a war with Connecticut, Massachusetts. I didn't realize that Massachusetts had 2 provinces, or a province up here too. So they took this from Maine, because I guess Massachusetts might have helped out New Brunswick, which my apologies, by the way, for that terrible pronunciation. I thought I swore I saw an though. I thought I saw New Brunswick I swear I saw that. But I searched it, and it is not a thing. So I don't know why I thought that. And there's the original. But I thought I saw an ER there, and that just explains. I don't know. It's crack. It's crack. You guys know this. I mean, you know that I have to do the crack before I start every recording, so it's kind of common stuff. Florida is at 32 war score. Yes, they did peace out with Mississippi. Mississippi probably didn't lose anything. Oh, they did. Ooh, and Florida grabbed a foothold here in the Deep South. I mean, they already have kind of a lot of territory in the Deep South, but still, that's a big deal. Still nothing broken out in the West Coast. No wars at all, and I'm thinking it's because of all the alliances. I mean, these are going to be some huge wars that break out here. These will be very, very big. Alaska, do you have any friends yet? Just Washington, what we knew about that. Mexico, like I said, did break out into a war, and I believe it was something, Distrito Federal. I'm guessing that is like their own kind of DC. I'm guessing that is like their district, their capital district, or something like that. Well, surprisingly enough, Georgia at least got up an occupation, but it really depends who's going to get these occupations first. What state? Will it be South Carolina? Will it be Tennessee, or will it be Florida? Tennessee seems to have control over this siege here. I don't think it's Florida. So boom, South Carolina got themselves something. They should have a 100% war score here easily. Who's Mississippi still allied to? Mississippi now allied to Texas. Maybe Texas will be able to keep them safe. Oh, not really, because Texas is also allied to Florida. All right, this is going to be a very interesting peace deal here. Want to make sure there's nothing else that's happening. There's Florida with 53% war score, and they're going to get 100% soon. As soon as they finish that siege. Illinois, Kentucky, Michigan versus Indiana, Ohio, Wisconsin. All right. So, let me just make sure there's nothing else. Massachusetts also at 46 war score over Connecticut and Rhode Island. And that is, I believe, it. Yes. Okay, so let's check in on the Northeast, kind of Northeast. What is this? This is the Midwest, right? Midwest. Oh, this seems like a pretty, oh my gosh, pretty, I don't know, balanced war, kind of. So, of course, Michigan's at war with Ohio and Wisconsin. That kind of makes sense. Who was the war declared? Let me look at the leaders of this war real quick as it goes on and continues to kind of go on in the background. So it was Illinois for a claim war against Indiana. It just happened to pull down Kentucky and Michigan. Indiana calling in Ohio and Wisconsin, which is actually kind of perfect. Right now, Illinois has negative 16 war scores, so it hasn't been going too well for them. Not at all. They haven't even gotten their claim yet, so yeah, that's kind of an issue. That's part of the issue. Ohio grabbed at least one control province of this state. So confusing going back between states, and now I realize that Australia is now a territory, Mexico's state, but we have provinces in Canada. But I'm learning things here. I'm learning things, guys. You got to realize that I don't ever have any experience, because EU4 has taught me for years now geography of at least, you know, the old world and stuff like that. But in terms of like my own country, my states, and as well as especially like Canada and their provinces and Mexico and their states, I didn't know anything. So I'm still all learning. So I apologize when I make mistakes still. So Tennessee's still going after this. What progress are they at? I didn't happen to see. They are, well, why can I not see? Do I have to click on the, there it is, 28%. So that's going to fall soon. There's going to be a 100% war score for the Florida Alliance. And I don't think this is going to end too well for Illinois. I don't think they have the strength to be able to do this. This is Kentucky and Michigan working together, pushing back Illinois. Now, do they have, Michigan has claims on the enemy? Obviously, Illinois does as well. But what about for Ohio? That's who I should be checking. Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin. They all have claims. So if they start to, it's got to be more one-sided though. It seems to be going back and forth for the most part. I mean, here's a pretty big win that Ohio and Wisconsin are going to lead against Kentucky, Michigan, and Illinois. I do want to check again on Massachusetts. Oh, okay, so nothing's happened here still. Okay, just making sure. Nothing else in Canada? Wow, I did not see this peace deal. Boom, Ontario took a ton away from Quebec, and just like that, Quebec is kind of out of it, but I don't think Ontario is going to keep this. There's no way. They've got to core a lot of land. But remember, these are big provinces. Keep that in mind, that these are pretty big provinces over here. So maybe less control than we're initially thinking. Oh, bam, there it goes. Yes, Georgia has been completely divided, completely split up exactly what we predicted. Florida grabbing 2 provinces, South Carolina grabbing 1, and Tennessee grabbing 1 as well to the south. So, the Deep South is kind of a big mess right now. We'll see if Alabama has some good alliances with North Carolina and Virginia, as well as Arkansas. Only 1 province so far under occupation, and it's been given control to Indiana. So Northern Illinois is kind of falling a little bit. We'll see. And I will be checking Michigan also lost this too. I will be checking the ledger probably in maybe the next video. I think it's still a little bit early to be checking the ledger. Actually, I'll probably wait because it's still going to be very confusing. I'm still waiting for at least another 50 to 100 years so that the rest of the world kind of consolidates and there's less wars going on, less distractions. So Illinois is at negative 35 war score. They're going to lose this really, really badly. So we might see some big gains from Indiana or Ohio or Michigan. I'm really thinking Indiana, though, is going to get the most out of this. They'll probably profit the most since they were the war leader, or I guess the war defender. Just want to make sure there's nothing else going on. Texas in their first war. Okay. So who are they at war with? New Mexico, California, Baja California, and Kansas. So why did they declare that war, first of all? This was a war for Chavs of New Mexico. So they were just trying to expand their territory more towards the west. If California can get over here, then I don't know how well it's going to go for them. They might be able to go through Nevada, Utah, and then the Four Corners, which I don't think they can move through the Four Corners. Don't think you can move diagonally. You'll have to do, I don't know. That's an interesting question. Can you move diagonally in this mod? Because I don't think we've ever seen a block like this. San Juan, can you go to San Juan to Bernalillo? Well, so far, New Mexico has a regiment over here, so yeah, they are able to. Oh, what's this? There's occupied by Catholic zealots. Oh, there's some rebels. Uh-oh, Arizona is under occupation by disconnected Catholic zealots. Wonder how that's gonna go for them. Texas seems to be doing okay. Oh, they did call in Oklahoma. So Oklahoma can probably, for the most part, distract Kansas. Or they're not going to at all. Kansas is just not going to get involved. I guess that's another thing that they could do. Just want to make sure there's nothing else happening here. That's Ontario. That just looks like a very strange... Oh, it's because it's winter. So everything is kind of freezing over. So is California moving? No. I don't think they care. I think they might even be allowing... I don't expect Baja California to contribute much, or maybe they will. Did they get open borders? I mean, it doesn't necessarily, just because California isn't liked by Arizona and vice versa, doesn't mean that they can't move through that territory if Texas gets military access, which I believe they did, because Baja California, yeah, is moving through. So now there will be a fight, California versus Texas. We'll see how this goes. Immediately they're going to try to unoccupy. Well, this is not, the war was declared for this province, the south of New Mexico. This is something that Oklahoma grabbed themselves because I'm sure they have a claim. And here comes Kansas. Yeah, so once California got over here, got a little bit more messy. Oh, but they're going to win. They're going to win a battle. They're going to win a pretty big one, too. They've got a 22 stack. Oh, I don't know. Ooh. So we have the numbers on Texas side and Oklahoma side, but the morale on... Oh, they reinforced. As well as they had a 2-star general. They had a 2... Wow, when did Texas get a 2-star general? I'm surprised that they won that, actually. Here comes a 16 stack from California. Oh, man. Anything happening with Illinois yet? Nope, but Wisconsin is now... No, Wisconsin has been a little bit sieged out. But it's not too big of a deal. New Mexico, I think, is going to be saved. They're very, very, very lucky. They're very lucky they got up that alliance. Does Texas have anybody else they can call in? They might be able to call in Mississippi later on. Maybe Florida. Florida will be a naval powerhouse. It's something that we need to keep in mind. Florida will be, I think, a big factor in terms of navies. So 2.6 stack beating back like maybe a 1 stack. Here's the Texas and Oklahoma military kind of hiding in southeast Texas. But here they come. That's a big stack here. And actually, they're not ready for it. So I think that Oklahoma and Texas combined can beat out California, Kansas, and Baja California, and even New Mexico. So they clearly have a pretty big military advantage. The problem is that if they unite, that's the issue. And if they don't unite, then that's bad too. So the Mexico state, oh, this is New Mexico. I'm sorry. I thought I was referring to Baja California here. So this is Baja California, but what is this? Baja California sewer. Okay. I'll have to keep that in mind. Sewer. Geez, my Espanol is not as good as it once was. I should know sewer. I think it's south, right? Southern Baja California? South? Sewer? Not 100% about that. Okay, so Oklahoma, again, doing damage. They're going to be pushing back Baja California. Texas unsieging some things. Where is their progress at? Finally, we don't have as many wars. That's going to make things a lot easier to keep track of. Texas at 5 war scores so far. Massachusetts at 30 war score over Maine and Rhode Island. Maine? Oh, that's interesting. So I think Connecticut is out of it. I'll have to look at that. Illinois is at, wow, negative 62 war score now. That's bad. And is there anything else? No. Okay, good. Nothing else going on in North America. So yeah, who is it? Connecticut? No, Connecticut's still around. They're fine. Yeah, everything seems to be, for the most part, fine. So nothing really going on here. We're just going to keep an eye on Texas and Illinois. I will briefly check in on Australia. Everything is still intact in Australia, it looks like, for now. So one thing that I didn't kind of mention are these islands. These islands might be kind of interesting to look out for if someone consolidates in that region. But anyways, let's go back to the U.S. And how is Texas doing? There's a 22 stack, so that's a big deal. New Mexico and California with a 19 stack. This is a hill terrain. So boom, they've unoccupied that. But the thing is, if Texas gets control over what they, call the war for, that would be an issue. There's a fort here, so it's going to take time. So Kansas, New Mexico, and California will have time to unite. They could also go after the state of Oklahoma, try to separate piece them, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Arizona's still having issues with their disconnected Catholic zealots, which is hilarious. The rebels that pop up might be really, really funny here, I think. Has religion changed at all? Oh, Mormonism. Still moving down to the south. That's interesting. Oh, wow. Maybe that's why they popped up. Let's keep an eye on that. Protestantism also moving down to South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota. I don't think Protestantism was that defined in kind of the middle, northern part of the U.S. I don't think they were, but I can't remember off the top of my head at all. Let's keep that in mind. Also, Florida. We want to watch Florida because Florida seems to have an upper hand here, especially in the southeast. Uh-oh, looks like Texas lost a battle. That's pretty crucial. So I don't think anything will result from this California-Texas war. Pretty sure they'll probably just both peace out. Although, if someone starts to really lose a lot of power here, I wouldn't be surprised if a bordering state decides to maybe take them on. I think that's very likely. Yeah, Texas is now at -7 war score. Very unlikely, I think, that we'll see them lose anything. Oh, bam. Okay, so yeah, Illinois definitely paid for that premature war. And actually, Indiana is the main beneficiary of that. Oh, here's a new war that popped up. Kentucky and West Virginia. And look at that. West Virginia did end up surviving. And so did D.C. D.C. ended up surviving. And so did West Virginia. West Virginia now putting their sights on Kentucky, or vice versa. I don't know. North Carolina's here. I can't imagine West Virginia doing too well here with Kentucky and North Carolina versus West Virginia. But like I said, yeah, Indiana, look, they really benefited from this. Ohio didn't grab anything. Wisconsin didn't grab anything. But Indiana grabbed a Wayne from Michigan and then 3 provinces away from Illinois. So, yeah, that was not a good war to have declared. California grabbed an occupation over Texas. This is not a fort, though. West Texas. Where is Dallas the, Austin, I believe, is the capital of Texas. So here comes more Californian reinforcements, and they're giving that up to New Mexico. Man, if Texas ends up losing this war, that would be a really, really big deal. Very, very big deal. Because New Mexico would probably grab things. Do they have any cores? They've got no cores. Nobody has cores on Texas. Maybe Mexico? No, I mean, everyone has claims, but no cores. Arizona has a core on Nevada, which is interesting. But we'll have to see the results of the Californian-Texas war, or I should say the New Mexico-Texas war. Things are very fun here in North America. I'm really, really enjoying this so far. I hope you guys are as well. Let's briefly check in on Australia real quick, because I don't want to leave them out of it. Yeah, everything seems to be still the same. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.